Now, a dedicated political task team that was formed in 2018 has been focusing on incidents of political tension and killings in KwaZulu-Natal. Police Minister Beki Cele yesterday told the media during his visit to Caluza and Pietermaritzburg following the murder of an EFF ward councillor candidate, Thulane Shangase, who was gunned down on Friday last week, about these developments. Shangase is said to have been gunned down on his way home from an EFF campaign meeting in Herwood. Now, Cele also says that there are about 6 people who've been killed since the beginning of local government election campaigning, and the visit was aimed at calming tensions ahead of the local government elections. Now, there have been concerns expressed by many South Africans, and the South African Police Services Minister Beki Cele joins us now virtually to talk more about these developments. Minister, good to see you again. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning to Morning Live, and good morning to everybody that is listening to you.
Minister, let's just start by looking at some of the findings of the political task team investigations into political killings in KZN.
Yes, the task team coming around 2018, during the time it was a really bloody situation. People were killed, especially councillors and the political leadership, especially the Youth League, for whatever reason that they were made target, and the president instructing that the security ministers must make sure that they deal with the situation. Then the task, the IMC dealing with the political killings came to KZN, and then the task team from the police led by General Khumalo was established. Ever since, the killings, political killings, have been going down in KZN, though they still have some, as you see now, but in a much, much lesser way than it could have happened in the year 2011 and 2016.
Do we have a figure, Minister, at this point of how many people have been killed, at least in the lead up to these 2021 local government elections?
Well, in KZN, there would be 6 by now, with the 3 ladies that were killed by drive-by shooting in Inanda. That's about 4 weeks ago, and then 2 that were killed, including the candidate at Kato Crest, together with the other comrade of his, Mr. Nyama. And then that gives you 5, and then the killing of Shangase, who is a candidate in Maritzburg. So that overall kill give you 6. But also there have been some attempted murders, especially that happened around Guaduguza, where 2 people survived the shooting. One is a candidate again, but other is a political leader there. So there have been attempted murder there. Fortunately, nobody died there. So there is a temperature that has been going up, especially in this province. But you know, also in Gauteng, especially Tshwane, there's been a problem there of attack and killing the councillor, who's also a candidate there, Sepo, and the Western Cape is giving us a little bit of a problem too, because councillors and the candidate have been killed there.
And are there any progress reports at this stage, Minister, with regard to some of these cases? Like you mentioned, the women who were gunned down in Inanda in that drive-by shooting last month. Is there any development in that particular case?
All these cases, Sakina, are given to this political special task team to look at them, because they are suspected to be politically motivated. There's not been much progress when it comes to 3 women that were killed in Inanda. 2 people were picked up for the questioning, and the police are still following on those questioning of those 2 people that were picked up. But with Dugu's attempted murder, there are people that are arrested there. And with Mkhize and his comrade, we expect a serious breakthrough there. In next 24 hours, good announcement could be made. With Shangase, again, going there, it was quite pleasing that the police are chasing somebody they know now, the name, the surname, and they even tried to go to his place. They couldn't find him, but we know who they are chasing.
So within the next 24 hours. Minister, what is the plan by the police as we are quickly approaching the election day now? Because there are obviously concerns about some disputes about candidate lists in the ANC, for an example, and as we see other parties like Mr. Shangase also losing members, the EFF member there in Pietermaritzburg. But then, with regard to the plan, because you said something about the SANDF yesterday when you were in Pietermaritzburg. So what is the plan leading up to the elections?
Well, the plan is in place, Sakina. The security cluster has met several times. As you would know, that is chaired by the Minister of Defense together with the Minister of Police. I think on Monday, around about 11 or 10 in the morning, we'll come with a full media briefing, what the plan would be. That plan already has been shared with the IEC, has been shared with COPTA. I would not love to be presumptuous and preemptive on the plan until there is a media briefing about the complete plan come Monday, Sakina.
Minister, staying with the political killings, now on Monday, the former MEC in Mpumalanga, Mandla Msibi, after he was granted bail by the Nelspruit Magistrates Court, held a bit of an impromptu meeting outside addressing supporters. And he spoke about a situation whereby he said that the police had treated him unfairly, to say the least, in terms of how this particular case unfolded. And it reminded me, Minister, at the time when we first received reports as the media of those shootings and the killings in Mpumalanga, we called the ANC and they said they didn't know anything about it. We called the police and they said they didn't know anything about it. And then fast forward somewhere down the line, yes, there were killings. So are you happy with how things have been handled in Mpumalanga around political killings? Because Mr. Msibi also charges that in the Barberton area alone, at least 10 people have been killed, political killings, and that the police are aware of this. So are you aware of all of that?
Well, Sakina, when things happened and you call the police, it's better to give you the research and investigated answer rather than really be presumptuous and then come back to say this is what we found. Sometimes they will say, we are not aware of that because they're investigating. I don't know what were the circumstances for them to say they don't know in that particular time. Coming to Mr. Msibi, and said was ill-treated by the police. Again, I don't know about that. But for instance, police, I think, were very generous to him, to invite him to surrender himself, to appear in court, rather than going and arrest him from his place. I think that was a courteous way of dealing with the matter. If really has complaints, we all know what to do. When the police ill-treat us, we go to the IPIT, and the IPIT investigate that. So we'll wait until the time comes. Yes, there have been killings in Mpumalanga. That there are 10 or less more. I don't have that figure that Mr. Msibi has. If he does have, I'm sure it would be good for him to assist the police to hand over and give to the police that kind of information.
And then Mr. Fisa Gucciuli appearing in court, we then heard of a connection. He was appearing with regard to political killings, and then we heard about a connection, possible connection to the Senzo Mayiwa case. Can you please just bring us up to speed with regard to that, Minister?
That's a killing machine, Sakina. Tintuli is a really killing machine in a big way. coming from killing Mr. Nyembe, the councillor, ANC councillor Nongoma. The guy has been linked almost plus minus 10 murders in KZ alone. It looks like he's going to be linked about between 10 and 14 murders again in Gauteng. The Senzo Meyiwa issue, he's part of those 5 people. He's one person that was talking much, causing a lot of drama. He's a very same person. And that case is supposed to start towards the end of October or beginning of November. So I'm sure you'll get an opportunity to put his story there. But that case is on, and that case is live, and that Ntuli is part of that case.
So has he always been a suspect, Minister? And again, you know, how was he linked to the Senzo Meyiwa murder? Was it, you know, something that the police stumbled across while investigating the political murders, or how did this connection come about?
Sakina, people that are arrested on these political killings, KZN is quite a big number now, but overall there are about 284 of those people that are arrested. Some of them, yes, have been acquitted out of that number, but some have been given quite heavy sentences. I think out of them, about 9 of them are doing life, 22 of them that are doing between 10 and 50 years, and the rest there are less years going forward. There are quite few significant things. Those people, they don't just kill political activists and leadership only. You find them in the tax industry. You find them in the cash heist. You find them in just individual and killing people for fun. And one thing, again, Sakina, there is a lot of linkage between the Gauteng and KZN on those killings. So you'd not be surprised when a person is hired to kill whoever. Sometimes they kill the people that they don't even know their names, and they only see the faces and photos and go and kill those people. So this one of Senzo, this guy was put there even before the decision of the court. When the police were investigating, is not only one that is linked. There are many other cases that are linked with different people. Yes, the investigations led to the police finding that information that was linked in the Senzo Meyiwa killings.
Just curious, Minister, because in the Senzo Meyiwa case, there was, of course, a house full of witnesses. Has he been identified by them?
Well, from the fact that the guy has been taken to court and the prosecutor has agreed to put the case on the roll, and they've appeared and did not get the bail, it means that procedures have been made and the prosecution has found it to be correct, Sakina.
And then, Minister, taxi violence, if we can just move on to some other matters very quickly. We saw incidents in Gqeberha. We know in the Western Cape it's been ongoing, and now recently in Gauteng. Surely a very worrying situation. So as far as the police are concerned, is there any update with regard to the taxi violence and the possibility of lasting solutions to end the taxi violence at this point?
Well, no doubt it's worrying. Is a worrying situation. Western Cape, we worked very closely with the Minister of Transport on the matter, and the other role players. There were even political. There were even political people that got in there to help, like General Bantu Olomisa. The matter has been cooled off a little bit now. Though the routes have not been opened between Paarl and Cape Town, but the situation is cool. But there are quite several people that have been picked up by the police. Maybe that also contributes. Gqeberha is a problem between the Somalian communities with the taxi industry. Again, one has visited there trying to deal with the matters. We're supposed to pick some people there. What good that has happened there. Some few guns that were used to brandish around and all that have been taken by the police for inspection for ballistic. We hope it will give us the situation, what is going on. Sorry, the worrying one is Gauteng. I tried to speak to the both MEC Transport yesterday and MEC Safety, who are doing something about it.
Okay. Minister, we're just about out of time, but I quickly have to put this question to you from Mutseti, who asked, can you please ask the Minister about the 2019 intake of police officers that was put on hold because of COVID-19? Mr. Sitole said they will resume during level 1. So what is the situation around that intake, Minister?
Well, there is a progress on that. Unfortunately, that those were there in 2019, they'll have to undergo the system again, Sakina. Things like checking the criminal records, their health situation, and any other things that they should have been submitted in that particular time. But we're looking forward to have the intake. The intake we have for now is for reservists, but we are making thorough preparations to have the intake of the young students that will go to the different colleges. But unfortunately, 1.5 to 2 years that has lapsed could have changed the situation when you were admitted in 2019, which might have you have a criminal record now, or your health situation, especially after COVID-19, people might not be too healthy, so they'll have to undergo again that system. But the undertaking, we're preparing to go for it.
So many questions coming through, Minister. One of them pertains to the political killings and saying that there seems to be quite a lot of attention on the perpetrators in Kabi, but what about those who actually order these hits? Are you making any sort of inroads in terms of arresting those people?
Yes, but it's a good way to go to the paymasters. These paymasters who are in both politics and especially taxi industry. We are making the inroads, but it's also better to use Inkabi to go up there. Yes, we will be, and we are having a lot of people of interest in both politics and in both the taxi industry going to that level. They make situation quite difficult. There is a lot of dealing, Sakina, between Izinkabi and the paymasters. But we know for sure there are paymasters and working on that. That includes the case of the lady from the health department that was killed in Gauteng. So that situation, South African might wait longer, but that's the way we have taken of making sure that we do get the paymasters on that on the high level.
And just finally, Minister, are there still any police stations that are being guarded by private security?
Well, we have moved on that one. I think we don't have them now. Those that we have, those people that are guarding there, some of them have been absorbed in this latest intake, Sakina, latest intake of reservists, so that they trained as South African Police Service reservists for them to continue with the job.
Minister, so much to talk about, but we have to leave it there. But thanks so much for your time. Police Minister Beki Cele talking to us about his visit to KZN yesterday following the murder of an EFF ward councillor candidate, Thulane Shangase. And Minister Cele also saying that the police and defence force will be deployed to keep order during elections. But of course, that plan still to follow, and also updating us on a few other matters.